He, she's, theys, and all those who slay tonight, breaking down ads, invading gear, smashing burial myths, and celebrating our truth out. Ron Killing's back. This is Kicking Out of Two. I'm Michael, and back from the road trip and ready to bring the heat for this special episode with more passion than Ted DiBiase Jr. against the officials. Where's that referee? He tried to fuck on me. It's Tori. Tori, hey, how are you?
Why that? Just why that? I love it, though.
Oh, got a chance?
Come on, Chance.
We got a chance. All right. Later, we're going to have the man himself, John Anthony, joining us. He is not here yet, but when he gets here, we will stop for just a moment to invite him in, and we'll have a little conversation. All the things,
everybody. Right?
All right. Herb, thank you for being here. Sped, thank you for being here. Lady Alpha, always a pleasure to have you here. Who are you booing, Sped? We just started. Goodness. Anyway, now that we set the ring on fire. Whoa. Okay, go ahead.
Obviously, I've missed some things.
Stampede, welcome in. All right, you missed some things. Go ahead. What'd you miss?
I'm trying to think of something. I had a couple of things like ready to go, and then you came up with that ridiculous Ted DiBiase shit, and I lost it all.
That's my name of the game. Come up with ridiculous shit.
It was a fun. I will say it was a fun week.
Okay.
It was a fun week. My daughter got married. I was part of the wedding, which was the first time I've been in a wedding that wasn't mine. So 1 out of 4.
Were you not at mine?
No.
I thought you were at the second one. Did you not go to the second one? Because we did the first one. Okay, well, holy shit, that was too long ago anyway.
I've been to weddings, but this is the first one I've been in.
Oh, you've been in.
Like part of. I was a bridesmaid in my daughter's wedding. Felt really special that she asked me to do it and got to be there for it. Mary and I also made, with a little bit of help from Tiff, made all of the centerpieces, and we catered. We cooked 30 pounds of chicken.
Okay, well, where's my plate?
We literally, look, when I tell you, I'm like, y'all take this fucking food because I'm not taking none of this shit back with me.
Mm-hmm.
I brought back some cubed up chicken, and that's it.
Okay.
I lied. We brought 2 bags of salad back because we did salads. Yes, 30 pounds of chicken. I cooked them on the grill. Can you share a picture if I send it to you? Can you share it here?
Not easily with the way I have this set up.
Okay.
How about this? You send it over to me. We will post that on the Twitter a little later.
Okay. Because 30 pounds of chicken. I spent 3 hours outside at the grill last weekend.
Now, I saw you raving about the chicken, though, so at least it was good.
Look, when I tell you, first of all, this was the best chicken I have ever cooked. And it was flavorful. And yes, I'm going to use the word. It was moist. And I took a thermometer to every single piece of chicken.
Okay.
I don't play with chicken.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those things I will not play with.
Yeah, you don't mess with chicken. Chicken,
no,
you got to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess now that we've set the ring on fire, let's go ahead and get down to business. First up is the headlines.
You can throw out there.
There is going to be one headline. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit missing from the news, and that's just because it is one of my 3 count. And I feel like we're going to have a lot of discussion about it. So we'll go ahead and go with that. So first of all, big thing that you and I actually haven't even got to talk about is the Kyle Fletcher powerbomb botch. We got to touch on it a little bit when we talked about it. So there was some news on a little bit of pushback that happened. There are some people backstage that were upset about it. For those that aren't initiated, don't know it, on Dynamite, Kyle Fletcher delivered a power bomb to Adam Cole. It was tried to be one of those apron power bombs that KO's known for. Unfortunately, he completely missed and just went straight to the floor. There was heat, mainly due to the concern over the recklessness, but it wasn't career-threatening, thank goodness. If you slow the video down, which I did on a couple of things, it literally, like, he missed his head just by absolute, like, inches. It was so much so that you saw the apron kind of pop up a little, the apron cover pop up a little bit because of the wind of him going down.
When I tell you I saw that and immediately cringed, freaked out, got scared, and pissed off all in about 4 seconds.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of concern in the back. There should be a huge amount of fucking concern in the back. You are a main event fucking talent, and you can't hit a goddamn ringside power bomb?
Yeah, it's one of those, like I said, we got to talk just a very little bit about it, but like the number one thing to me is if you're gonna do a spot like that, and you're Kyle Fletcher, like we're not talking Nick Wayne, who's still very young in his career. We're not talking someone who just started out of the Nightmare Academy. We're talking about Kyle fucking Fletcher. Like, you didn't spot yourself knowing where he was gonna hit before dropping him, it's not like you don't see him slip, you don't see him waver. You saw him literally just pick him up and pop him back down. And
9 fucking years he's been wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, 11. I can't math.
That's okay. I'm assuming your shoes are still on.
So it's Pride Month. I get a pass. Shut the fuck up.
By the way, sorry, like we didn't even do that. The first Pride show with my partner back. Appreciate it. We did have our first Pride show last week with wonderful Vinny, but he has no replacement for my partner. So glad you're here. Yeah, it was very rough. Like, and I know the big thing is that I know. Hey, I'm waiting too. Just gotta get the guy here.
I just show up. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, that is why Tori's the talent, because she does math with her feet. Or because it's I don't know. Never mind.
Nope.
Nope.
We're gonna leave that alone and move on.
That's the big announcement. Next week we're announcing the Kicking Out to Wiki Feet. Anyway. I mean, obviously people are going to question, like, should they take a firmer hand when it comes to these type of spots?
Yes.
Should they do it less?
Yes.
Like these type of things. I don't necessarily say do it less. It's just like, if you're going to do it though, like, he had time to like stop himself, walk to where the apron is, and then drop it. Like, yeah, that's all it would have took.
2 steps.
So it's a little weird that we made that mistake. I mean, mistakes happen, and thank goodness Adam Cole's okay. Thank goodness he wasn't 2 inches closer to the ring. Thank goodness he's okay. From one amazing thing to the next, though, my favorite wrestler of all time from TNA back in the day was the alpha male, Monty Brown. Alpha male Monty Brown had an appearance scheduled for StarCast. He is going to be at StarCast All In Weekend. I am so excited. This man has been courted by AEW, by WWE, by TNA to go to their events. Has not bit on any of them.
I'm sorry. Time out here. Mm-hmm. You're excited. Does that mean something has changed in the plans? Are you?
I don't think it can, but that's one of those I might drive up one day for. Like, I'll go drive there and drive back.
I mean,
because especially
I'm gonna have a room that probably has 2 beds. I'm just saying.
I'm not disagreeing. Because if I could see Monty Brown, that'd be awesome. I was so sad. Obviously, like, he left the business for very, like, righteous reasons. Had a lot of family issues going on.
He left.
He had a lot of family issues going on, and so he he took that off to handle his family and deal with that. And so he's been gone since then. And so, like, I'd love to see him come in. Like, he was in there for the WWE ECW days for a little bit, and like he was kind of a watered down version of himself, but like if they could get him in, it'd be a lot of fun, I think. But yeah, so he's going to be there at Starcast. There's a lot of question then of like, since he's finally kind of coming back out, are we going to be seeing him maybe trying to go into one of the companies, which would be really cool if I could see Monty Brown on my TV again. The personality of that dude is insane.
Let me stop you there. Where would you put him? What would you do with him?
Ooh.
What company? And I'm not saying it has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
Like, what position would you put him in?
Well, first of all, if you're putting him in WWE, to me, he's a foil for Braun. Because him and Braun Breaker in a ring together.
Is he going to start wrestling again?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's...
Oh, okay.
Like, but if he was to come back and wrestle, I think putting him in the ring with Braun would be insane. Putting him over on AEW, I mean, there's a lot of places he could go there, but like, where does he fit story-wise? I can't think of a place to put him.
If he did a one-off at an AEW show, it needs to be a show. No. Okay, maybe two different
Have
things.
him pounce the shit out that boy.
Maybe two different things. The Cashman thing would be funny. But I either need him ringside or in the front row something when Willow hits that pounce and him to react to it.
Have him just do the taunt, do the whole thing.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or have her do it to him.
I want to say that she has said that she talked to him before she started using it.
Yeah, could be. Absolutely could be. But yeah, I mean, for fans of mid 2000s Impact, for the new breed and WWE ECW, this is a nostalgia hit. Awesome to see him kind of get back into the world, into the fold. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Shotzi is officially a free agent. Seen some pictures of her posted of her at certain shows, and the reason she's kind of newsworthy right now is she says she's happy, she's free, and she's making bank on her own terms, specifically saying that she has made more in the past 2 days than WWE paid her in a week. Obviously that'll slow down. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, you know, the WWE's not paying them shit. No, they're paying them good money, but as her name is so big right now in the early on of her release, she's gonna get bank. I agree, Stampede.
Like I just told you, I saw a thing and I don't know if it's real because Cardona retweeted it and was like, nobody wants to see this. GCW is now advertising a Shotzi versus Cardona match for Friday, July 11th in Dallas. And if that's the case, then I may have to.
This is one of those, like, it's so funny how easy things happen. It's exactly right, Big Mike. So she's went around touting. Okay, so
the new indie god.
If it came out of Stampede's mouth, then right. it's on. There we go. So
it's Stampede official. Done.
It's official.
You know who
Stampede said it.
You know who the professor is? Professor Nick Harrison on Twitter, the black guy?
Yeah.
Does all the... Okay. He just said, hi, I'm Blake Monroe, and you're watching the Disney Channel.
That's great.
That's solid.
Yeah, no, so all this started because she had pronounced herself the indie god, which then Matt Cardona then responds back saying, that's trademarked, that's mine, stop stealing my gimmick. And so this has been a great back and forth between those two. And now that it's an official match, that's going to be amazing. Those two in the ring together are going to be great. Let's see. WWE's ad expansion. She did look really good on the GCW show. I'm going to have to go and watch the other one she was on, which was, I've got that written down here, Hood Slam. Because that's also what Kid Bandit was on, so I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Did you see Shotzi's interview with Ariel Hawani?
No, I have not yet.
He asked her if she had a preference, and she said she'd love to go work for either one of them. She'd be happy to be back working full-time at a company.
Mm-hmm.
He said, do you have a preference? And she said AEW. She said, but the freedom, how Tony treats the talent, and hot girls get to make out with each other. So, like, that's cool. Was how she ended that whole thing.
To which should have been me.
Nixie XS, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Said, I need to get hired ASAP, mostly for the girl kissing.
Mm-hmm.
Shotzi replies with, so I'm not the only one that wants to kiss hot women?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
Not.
Yes. So Nixie replied and said, if 1 million people want to kiss hot women, I'm one of them. 10 people want to, I'm one of them. One person wants to, it's me. If no one wants to, it's because I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, Big Mike is here. I know he saw it on Twitter, so I'm going to shout it out. Michael, let me know that he went out and paid for a cameo for Mr. Iguana to talk to our boy Big Mike at the run-in.
Yep.
I'm guessing we're naming an iguana. Is that what I understood?
Yeah. So out of solidarity for the greatest export since Dominic Mysterio. You're welcome, Sped. We have adopted our own iguana that's going to be on the run-in. And he was asking Mr. Iguana if he would, name it for him. And so I just thought I'd help that out a little bit.
Morgan!
That is Miss Morgan. Morgan, welcome. Thank you for showing up.
To be one of God's favorites, I could tell you, because,
Okay. Yeah, but I will let you announce the name and everything on your show. That's all we're going to mention about it. The rest is yours. And I'm going to say it to you. So that was on VOD in perpetuity. That video is yours. Do with it what you want to. Within reason. Some things we don't need to know about. So WWE SAD expansion. There's a lot of hubbub about the fact that we had a fireball ladder. We've had Slim Jims on tables. Well, Dave Meltzer, and we always take things with Dave with a grain of salt, says, not a joke, this is where it's going. That we're probably going to start seeing ads on gear. So let me start, before I go through any details of that, just on paper, what do you think of this?
More ads?
Ads being on gear.
I couldn't give a fuck.
Okay.
So here's the thing. I get it. I get why people are going to have a problem with this. I do understand. Do I care? Nope. I personally feel like congressmen should have ads on their jackets just so we know who's paying them.
Take a left turn.
So what's the difference?
Okay, fair enough.
Am I looking at wrestlers for their gear? No, I'm generally not. Unless it's mommy, and that's a different conversation for a different show.
Yeah, that's for kicking out 2 after dark. Right. So yeah,
but no, I honestly, do I like it? Not really. Do I care? Nope.
Yeah,
I will say this. I don't care, with the caveat. Exactly. That's exactly where I was headed, Big Mike. As long as the performers are getting paid, I don't care. I don't care. But if the performers, we find out they're not getting a cut of that, no.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So that's actually where I was going to go with it. To me, like, the idea should be then, because the picture that keeps getting shown about it is Brock Lesnar. Like, every time I've seen the story about it, it's Brock Lesnar's gear, because he had the Jimmy Johns on there. He had a couple other things on there. But the thing is, he was like, those were his sponsorships. It wasn't WWE sponsorships.
Those were his UFC sponsorships. that Vince was like, I want you on my show, and Brock said, I'm going to wear this, and Vince is like, okay, can I suck your dick while I'm at it? Because you seem to draw ratings, or at least I think you do. So sure.
Why not? Again, left
I'm
turn.
sorry.
That's all
I have
right.
never thought Brock is entertainingly fun. He's not a draw to me.
Okay. All right. Um, so that's kind of where I was going with it too, though. Is like obviously you've got Cody Rhodes that has the Wheatley stuff. He's also been doing the stuff with Minute Maid. Like if that gets put on his gear somewhere, I'm not offended by it because he's getting paid by them. So sure, absolutely.
Right there. As long as they're getting paid for it, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't.
Which to me
Do I like it on the ring? No. Do I like it on the turnbuckles? No.
But
like personally,
I'll tell you the same thing.
I'm not a fan of that.
I'll tell you the same thing though that I told someone else, and the thing came up of like in one of the shows. I think it was I want to say it was in Big Mike's show. Come to think of it, no, it was the Money in the Bank wrap up that they were doing. And someone had said, you know, I just saw, what was the bottom ad on there? This escapes me now. But like he mentioned that he saw an ad on the bottom turnbuckle. I didn't think about that until he said it. Like I'd watched the entire show, I watched it all night. I didn't think about that until someone pointed out, like, oh, there was an advert on that bottom one. Okay. So we kind of got some back to back there, so I'll read Stampedes real quick. The adverts are no big deal, except for when what they advert is on has to play into the match itself. Like the fireball ladder had to be used every specific spot in the Money in the Bank match.
I don't care about the. Okay, so they pulled out a big ladder that said fireball. They were going to pull out a big ladder anyway. You know they're all whipping their ladders out in that match.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. As long as people are getting paid, that's all that I care. As long as it doesn't mess with the show, that's my only concern. Like I've heard people this gets me in a lot of trouble because I've heard people shit on that zombie match. If you remember with Ricochet and John Morrison.
It wasn't Ricochet.
Was it not?
No, it wasn't Ricochet and John Morrison. It was Damian Priest and The Miz. John Morrison was at ringside.
Oh, okay.
That was the match. The Miz got hurt because Priest came off the top and either slipped, stepped wrong, whatever. That's how that was the one injury The Miz has ever had that forced him to miss time.
Fair enough.
That's the only reason I remember who was in that match is because that's a whole fucking trivia question.
For some reason in my head, I was thinking that was the same one that Ricochet did the crossbody that made Morrison disappear.
It might have. That might have all happened at the same time frame, but the match itself was Miz Priest.
But I mean, anyway, to me, that was one of those silly things in wrestling that I actually enjoy. Like I like when we get kind of stupid and silly sometimes, and that was stupid and silly, and I'm good with it. Now, if that becomes every match, I have a problem. But
absolutely,
every once in a while you throw a match in there. Like there was the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match or whatever that was. That was the match between Rey Mysterio and Dom. They mentioned it like twice in the match.
They sponsored it. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, like it's fine. If they make the entire match wrapped around that, okay, I have a problem.
Yes.
If we end up getting, a Slim Jim wrestler, then I might have a problem.
Like Stampede said, though, we start hearing, we want the Slim Jim tables. That chant's not going to work. It doesn't roll off the tongue the same.
But obviously it's.
Why are you whining at me, Chancy Pants?
TKO's leadership. They're trying to add more revenue. It was mentioned on Big Mike's podcast that that there are reports showing that TKO is actually currently losing money. And it's just because
no, that sucks.
And so they're trying to get some funds and they're trying to get back into positive. And that's fine. If that's how you're doing it, just don't let it affect my show. That's all I care. I want to be entertained. if you've got a few more sponsorships on the ring, if you decide to put Wheatley on Cody's ass, whatever. Just make sure that make sure that it's not just Liv in one big McDonald's suit. That just incorporate it somewhere in the thing. Or if you like our thumbnail, like having us on Cody's crotch is what it is. Happy Pride, everybody. The contrast to AEW, obviously, though, is that they don't have sponsorships all over their stuff. They're not going that route.
Here's one of those things, though, that's going to be a noticeable difference.
Mm-hmm.
You start putting ads everywhere, and they don't. People are gonna be like, "I'm so sick of seeing these stupid ads."
Yeah,
and you may drive away. You may drive away fans.
Well, and to flip the other side to it on the business side, if the higher ups that help Tony fund start seeing all that money rolling in from advertisements, they might go, maybe we need a little
Let me deal with my dog. I will be right back.
Okay. My dog's over here barking too. So what about you guys in the chat? We got enough people here that are very into talking. What do you guys think of superstars being covered in logos? What do you think of it being a smart branding? Do you think it's oversaturation? What are you thinking? On her contract next week on NXT. Yep. Yeah, we saw that before we jumped on here that they changed it to Blake Monroe. We have opposing opinions on it, and that's okay. I'm fine with it. Obviously, she's got the glamour thing going. Monroe makes sense. I didn't kind of think where Blake came from quite yet, but Tori did mention that she does look a little bit like Blake Lively. So that makes sense there, if that's where we got those names from. But I'm good with it. I mean, it's better than some knockoff version of Mariah May. I mean, go for there. We're doing it. We can get her get one of the LFG guys to come in and cosplay Johnny Bravo and walk behind her. Ooh-ha! That could be fun. Kidding, of course. Obviously, that'd be a horrible idea. Lady F, I can see how people would think that it would take away from the characters, and it can if it becomes if that becomes their tagline, right? If instead of The Rock coming out and saying, "Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?" if he said, "Do you smell hamburger helper?" that obviously completely changes that that dynamic. So yeah, I mean, as long as they're not shilling during their promos, as long as they're not, coming out there with kendo sticks wrapped in Slim Jim wrappers instead of just kendo sticks, I think it'll be fine as long as they don't go too far with it. Yeah.
Couldn't get to Grace's little sister and had to fucking whine about it.
Oh no.
Right.
All right, so on to the next bit of news, which is Mr. Iguana. Why not? Why don't we talk about him more? So his appearance at Worlds Collide got a massive crowd response. WWE talent are lining up for pictures with him. We just saw 2 pictures before we got on here today of him with Shawn Michaels himself, with Shawn even playing with the little iguana. NXT sources are reportedly pushing for future appearances from him. He's already got merch on the WWE website. Some of the other AAAs do too, so I don't want to say it's just him, but he's the first one I've seen promoted having merch. So obviously, discussions are already underway for official, contracts as far as between him and them to bring him in. It's been kind of one of those happy accidents overnight of this thing happened. The fans fell in love with him, including Big Mike. It's one of those fun characters. And we can kind of loop this into the conversation that we had in before we got live here. we talked about the fact that Danhausen's contract is coming up here pretty soon. And your question to me was, does WWE look at him? And honestly, not unless something like this happens. If he happens to show up at a show that WWE fans are currently watching, then I think they fall in love with Danhausen. The fans revolt, and they end up looking at bringing him in. I don't think WWE heads are taking 1 second look at him right now. So that's just my thought on it. But so do you think that WWE should make a serious play at Mr. Iguana, or do you think that we keep him in the partnership with AAA and keep him over there?
He's one of those that I could see going back and forth. I think Vikingo is another marketable. Yeah.
Yep.
I think there's some that they have that are super marketable people.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Big Mike. It was. I love seeing the reaction. I didn't know who he was. I will say I have not watched all of Worlds Collide because we got home yesterday and I was so tired. When I tried to watch it, I started falling asleep.
You're road lagged. It's okay.
Lack of sleep for the past 9 days is a thing. And we had a kiddo stuck in an airport last night in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that was a whole other thing until 11 o'clock. So I have not watched all of Worlds Collide. I heard the Gable El Hijo del Vikingo match was amazing.
It was.
So I do think they have some that are marketable. I agree. I don't think they could take the character and not fuck around with it, and so it would be stupid.
Well, and the thing with Danhausen, like we talk about wrestlers, we talk about monsters, we talk about attractions. Danhausen is an attraction. Like he
absolutely is.
He's not someone you put on every week. He's not someone that you put in big master programs. He's a guy that's just there for some fun. You can flip that character to be dark and brooding, and he's done that a couple of times. But for the most part, the main character that everybody's used to and everybody loves, I mean, it's what we say all the time here, Stampede, is that it's a buffet. I didn't think it was better than the other, but like I get why you did, because that's your flavor. That's what you love about wrestling, and that's great. Speaking of great things, speaking of things coming back, the Inspiration return to TNA. The Iconics are back. Obviously, it's a TNA deal. They're in the TNA Knockouts tag division. It needed to have a boost. So bringing in that star power is amazing. Of course, selfishly to me, we've got Evolution 2 coming up. Please bring these girls in. Have them be part of that show. I'd love to see them in it. What about you?
That crowd pop would be crazy.
Yeah.
I was excited to see it because obviously, like I said, I've been a little out of touch this week. So when I've had time to get on Twitter, I was very, very excited to see them back. I hope they get a good run in TNA. Them and Ash by Elegant, the Elegance team. I don't know what the fuck they're calling them as a team, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, Ash, Itchy, and Scratchy. I gotcha.
Yeah, whatever. I'm a fan of it. I like the idea. I would love to see him at
oh, for sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I was so happy she won last week. Or whenever 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. Like I said, I'm way out of the loop.
It was a nice surprise.
Huh?
It was a nice surprise.
Absolutely. And there's not enough of those. Like, we'll talk about the other one later, but there's not enough of those. It was JC winning was a very nice surprise for NXT because we all thought Jordan was taking it. But I think bringing the Iconics in inspiration, whatever you want to call them. I think it would be very good for them, for Evolution, so on. I'm gonna make sure I'm home in time that Sunday to watch that, assuming I can stay awake.
Fair enough. Yeah, love to see those ladies back. Obviously, like, one left to kind of have a family, and she got to do that, and thank goodness for that she got that opportunity that she wanted. She's obviously ready to come back. The other one, unfortunately, just never grabbed a hold while being on her own, and I don't understand why, because I thought she was massively entertaining as Billy. I think her little gimmick when she was throwing around her headshots backstage and all that was massively entertaining. So I don't understand why she didn't really kind of grab on when she left. But good to see them back. Good to see them back at prominence.
I think I totally understand Peyton leaving, going to have a family. I think they had 2 kids. Two, maybe 3.
I don't know.
2.
Her and Spears were getting down.
Sean,
that's all that matters.
right? She's with Spears.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think we're getting the Bella twins. I think we're just getting Nikki, and we'll talk about that.
I hope so. I hope it's just Nikki. Wish it wasn't even Nikki, but that's a whole other conversation we'll talk about.
So Billy's problem was they made her into a joke gimmick and did nothing to change that.
Yeah.
And with that, it runs a course. It's there comes a point where,
I was fine with her joke gimmick. Like she had the headshots, and then she attached herself to the Riot Squad. All that was fun. It's just we didn't stick with anything. Like she was with the Riot Squad for a cup of coffee, and then she was just not. It's like, okay,
yeah.
well, what was going on there? Because I thought that was a fun dynamic of her being like this prissy British girl, or this trying to fit in with these wild and crazy girls, and like they're tearing up the backstage, and she's like grabbing a napkin holder and going, yeah, I rioted, I did a thing.
Right.
Question is AEW going to riot? Warner Brothers Discovery is going to split. So what does that mean for them? Reports have come out that AEW contracts will remain intact. There's no planned changes for TV exposure. Part of that report, though, did also say that the 60 to 80K viewership stat that they keep promoting is fabricated. Which, here's the thing, a lot of those streaming numbers are fabricated, because you can't, it's not like the Nielsen days. There's not a real program that works on that. Yeah. But while there's no immediate danger or any corporate shakeup or anything like that, who knows what could happen? Because like we were in a situation once with WCW where corporation decided they didn't want to be behind wrestling, and then that
ironically the same company.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows? To me though, I hope it keeps going. Like obviously wrestling has never been bigger, it's never been better. We've had competition, literal competition.
I mean, we all know those numbers are bullshit. Like we all know they are. Because the problem is they're not live numbers, because you can't get live numbers anymore, especially streaming. Because when I tell you I had to watch like 4 different times to finish fucking Dynamite and Collision that last week. So how are you going to get accurate numbers?
Right.
Like you're not. Unless you just wait until the week later and look at everybody that watched it, and there's your numbers.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm too dumb. I don't know the ins and outs of that. I finally just now understand when TiVo came live how that worked. As far as how it promoted that, because the TV watched it. But then for them having it in perpetuity, they would do, I think it was +7 for every time it got recorded to a TiVo. So for other people watching it. So maybe that's the same thing they do with that. Maybe they look at it and go, okay, well, you went to it so many times. Maybe one or two of those was someone else watching it, so we add one to it. I don't know, but I'm too dumb to think about any of that. I don't worry about the ratings as long as like they don't get shoved off TV. That's my concern. Like as long as they're still on TV and still making money, then I'm all right. I don't need to know all that in-depth stuff.
I don't care about the ratings.
Yeah.
Either I enjoyed the show or I didn't.
Yeah.
And when I don't, we talk about it. And when we do, we talk about it. Like,
that's right.
We're still going to fucking talk about it.
Well, here we are, halfway through the show. We'll go ahead and get to the 3 count. I'm going to start with you because my last one, I think, is going to be the one we're going to have most conversation about.
Right.
So obviously, yeah, you had to jam through a lot of wrestling in a short period of time.
And I still haven't watched everything. I haven't watched SmackDown. I haven't caught NXT from last week. I haven't watched.
Goodness, man.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're saying, Stampede. Like, those numbers are stupid.
Yeah.
So, yes, I burned through a lot. So, most of mine is going to be Money in the Bank and Raw related because I'm still not caught up.
Yeah. Which is fine. Like, it was an amazing weekend for wrestling. A lot of good things happening. We have even more stuff happening this coming weekend. Like, I can't wait to see it. We are just disappointed.
You know what, bitch? You saw everything I had to do this weekend, okay? You were there.
That's right. You don't have plausible deniability. Remember, she can turn you into. But anyway, your 3 count. The first one, Money in the Bank. Naomi ascends to win the Money in the Bank. First of all, to me, aside from what we'll talk about later, like I understand why now, this should have been the main event. Like this was the best show of the night to me. The best match.
Honestly, that other thing we're going to talk about should have been the opener.
Oh, I don't know with that surprise. I don't know.
No, it should have been because then you could have talked about that shit the whole rest of the show.
That's
Holy fuck, Stampede! Do you have a job, sir? What the fuck?
You have them Apple glasses or whatever, right?
You have those Meta glasses where you can be watching your monitor at work, and there's a little screen right here playing a wrestling. What the hell?
Either that or you got that Johnny Mnemonic set up, like with the.
Right.
Hey, final boss lady, welcome in. Always a pleasure to see you, man.
He's got that bunker set up of like 4 monitors, and each one breaks down into 4 pictures, and yeah.
Anyway,
Lizzie smoke built it for him. Like,
we love you being here, though. Keeps us honest on our stuff here, but yeah. So
I know that's right.
So what? I mean, tell me about the Women's Money in the Bank. Why is that one of your favorite things?
I enjoyed the shit out of it. Enjoyed the absolute shit out of that match. I think Naomi winning. They talked about it post show. Like Big E got. He got her a little bit because she got a little emotional about it.
And she was looking at him like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to be heel.
Like, you are killing my vibe here, bro."
Because then she immediately like turns around to the crowd and was like, "Y'all shut up! I don't need you." Trying to hurry up and like damage control.
Back in character, but he's not wrong. There are a number of times she should have won this match.
Absolutely.
This one was about time. I love the way they did it. She was the only one in the ring. And honestly, if you watch it, they're all laying on the floor looking at her.
Yeah.
Yes, it breaks kayfabe. I don't fucking care. I love that you could just see them all, even if they couldn't show it, that they were all so happy for her. Because Naomi's going to win a world title.
Yeah.
She's been a world champ. I get that. This is different. This is going to hit different. When that happens, this may be a Dolph Ziggler pop. Which to me is still the best pop on a cash-in.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Every single time he teased it.
So, I was a big fan. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was well done. I just, start to finish, loved it. and am excited to see what she does with this, and I can't wait to see how she decorates that case.
Yeah, that's gonna be the fun part. And if she doesn't put razor blades in it, I think it's a fail. Needs to have them in the briefcase. That way she can like pour them out,
No.
suplex someone on it. What? It was physically intense. There was so many unique
Yes.
things. You had Rhea using Bliss as a weapon. You had Bliss hitting a code red off of a bridged ladder. You
Which
had
was nice.
the Devil's Kiss on top of a ladder.
With Stephanie doing it to Rhea. So we got all kinds of ass bouncing, and it was great.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
But
And the crowd being Booker T for it made it even better.
yeah. The blurred lines, because it wasn't really like a heel face thing going on in this.
There wasn't.
And one thing that makes me kind of hopeful is we had a small little back and forth between Bliss and Rhea, like just kind of a look. And so I'm wondering, like, is that setting up a thing? Because we got Bliss, doing the thing with Charlotte right now. Is this a weird thing that we're going to start going into that? That'd be fun.
I think this match, when we get through the next like 6 months, this match is going to be a tie-in to so many things.
Love it.
That's where we're headed with all this advertising. That's where we're headed.
But yeah, it's just absolutely great match. I would say A to me, 100%. As far as the level of a match. Your second thing, you want to talk about Liv and Nikki Bella.
So I had Raw on. I left to get dinner because we did not think ahead at all about buying food for when we got home. So we're like, what are we doing for dinner? Fuck, we got nothing here. At least nothing that was simple because we were tired. But I honestly walked in and I was like, oh, Nikki. Because I didn't see her earlier in the show anywhere. I like Nikki. I don't have beef with Nikki. I feel like she actually added to the women's division. The problem was everything she added, Brie took away plus some. And Liv started talking shit, and I'm like, I would say, why don't you remember that? But it's because Brie kicked her in the face and she got a concussion, and that's why she doesn't remember that. So
Jesus Christ!
Tell me I'm wrong.
Tell us how you really feel.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not gonna. No, I agree with you.
We're gonna get Nikki and Liv at Evolution, and I'm excited about it. I am looking forward to this match. If Brie shows up, I may turn off the show.
So, here's my issue. First of all, I do want to say something because we have Stampede in here, we have Big Mike in here, and they were part of a conversation on another show talking about the Bellas. I agree with you on Nikki. I think Nikki gets a bad rap because of all the things that were wrapped around her and Brie together. Nikki was really good. Nikki was that bridge between the Divas era to the Evolution era, and people don't talk about that really. Having a sister like Botch Mode, that that unfortunately does knock her down a couple of pegs. My concern is Liv has a belt. Liv has a tag belt.
Fuck, I wasn't thinking about that.
And so if this turns into Brie coming back to get tag belts, okay, so first of all, I understand the desire. I understand the need that they would want as pretty much at the time, really the only tag team in the women's division because tag team belts weren't a thing. There was no reason to have a tag team. I understand. I understand that they would want that for that reason. But it's okay. I understand the want for that.
Right.
I don't want to see it. I don't either. I think, and here's the thing: as much as I love Nikki, Nikki needs to be here for Evolution, and then go make another Total Divas and make some money that way. Like, don't stick around, because I do love Nikki. Nikki cannot hang with the women today, I don't think. She was exceptional for the women that were there at the time.
The women that are there now is a whole different breed of female wrestler.
Free hurts people. Free hurts people. Sorry, could not resist.
Oh, that's so good.
Just teeing that.
Oh, that's so good.
I mean, obviously, like the things that she said that brought Liv out there. Liv came out of House of Fire, by the way. Like
yeah,
that.
She did.
She came out.
Why zoom in so much? What just happened?
I don't know. I don't know what you did. Now you're as big as me. It's okay. I used to look a lot bigger for some reason. But once she got out there, though, Nikki firing back with a whole bunch of things. Does Dominic belong to you, or does he belong to Roxanne?
Was a great line.
Those things. It's gonna be a great match. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this here because our special guest is here. So let me see if I can time this right. Oh, well, he was there, and then he dropped back out. Hold on, he's messaging me.
What's happening?
Okay, well, he says he's heading in, so we can probably finish this in the time that he's getting it.
Okay. I'm having issues. It's fine. Just keep going.
Okay. All right, now I'm not. I was echoing, and that threw me off. But
you're not wrong.
Yeah. No, he's been sending me texts recently. I think he's offended by you talking about his voice messages so much. But the Oblivion that she did to Nikki sold it well. Like, I think this is good between those two. Right. But like, if you get her in there with a Stephanie Vikai or whatever she tried to call her, I don't know what that was about. Like,
did she mess up Stephanie's name?
Yeah, she's like Vikai or Vikai or something like that. It's like, Stephanie who? Who are you talking about? Put some respect on her name. Now, Liv, though, showed that her mic skills have leveled up. So that's awesome that she was doing it so well, and she's going for someone really well. All right, there he is. So we're going to try to see if we can time this right. Pop that.
Hey, I'm not huge anymore. Cool, go.
You're not huge anymore. John, you with us?
I'm here.
There you are. All right. So joining us is the Chaos, is the hype machine extraordinaire, the ring general of hot takes, the podcasting legend of wrestling and more, a man we call a good friend, the one, the only podfather of chair shot sports, John Anthony. Welcome in, sir.
He's really working on these names, bro.
I think you got the guy.
I just had to change the last name. I just MVP or John Anthony, whichever one was showing up. I didn't know which one.
There we go. The original CEO's in the house.
There you go.
MJF's little brother.
I don't know. The comments I get, it's apparently I'm MJF in his 50s, so good for me. Jesus Christ. Awesome. So I apologize. I don't have my laptop. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on at the restaurant. We got a new manager, little chaos, but I'm on my phone. I'm still here. Okay. So sorry about that. The connection's not the best or anything like that.
That's all right. So we're just going to pause what we're doing here. I know you're here for a very special reason or occasion, so go ahead and go for it, sir.
Man, I don't have anything prepared. Awesome. So listen, I've known you two for a while now. You guys have been some day one-ish people as far as Chair Shot Sports with my podcast when it was just little old me before we had Big Mike and all the other folks join on. So I've been thinking about it. I know, like you and me have talked about a couple things, and we share a brand, a lot of stuff. We share a brand, a lot of things in general, our shows and wrestling takes and things like that. We both have great spaces for our fans. Just harboring anyone who wants to watch wrestling, just having a nice environment for everyone to have. And you guys have amazing, amazing folks that watch you week after week, and they have every right to be because you guys are awesome. So with that being said, and talking to the other folks in the Chair Shot Media Group, I want to come on here and formally let you know, and ask you, if you will, we would love you folks to come aboard and join us on the Chair Shot Media Group network.
Well, I think the answer to that is just absolutely yes. So much so
Absolutely.
that I already have your logo up there. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's already official.
Well, we've done a thing. We've done a thing. Obviously, you're on some of the streams. We want to make it official. We want you to come on board. That way, you have the maximum exposure to all. Everyone who watches me, Big Mike and Spedrock, Jesse B, all those folks, Ultimate One. And we just want to bring you in and make this official, and obviously just add to our ever-growing family of just awesome spaces for people who love all of wrestling that want to come and watch and listen to it. So
absolutely, we appreciate it. I think I've said it time and time again when I talk to Big Mike, like you, Big Mike, Jess, like you guys have been a wonderful group for us as far as like getting to know each other. Having someone else on here that has the same mindset of like this whole tribalism thing needs to go away. We need to just enjoy the thing in front of us, and surrounding ourselves with more people like that. Absolutely. There's no reason why we wouldn't want to.
100%.
Awesome. That makes me so good. I'm so happy to hear, man. Like I said, you guys have an awesome space, and you and me. I think sometimes when I do the SmackDowns, Shakedowns, like 12:30 at night, as I say something, your comment pops up. It's just like, wow, that's. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but at least we share a brain.
I ain't sleeping anyway, so.
We used to joke all the time that they had my house microphone when we watched pay-per-views because we'd say something, and then either it would happen or they would say it. So it was a running joke for the longest time with me and Michael that I'm like, they have us bugged, and I'm not getting paid for this, and it's kind of stupid.
That's what they have the burners for. They're always watching what we're saying. That's
right. Final Boss Lady, we did not sell out. We bought in.
That's right. We're not John Cena. We're not pulling a heel turn. We want everybody around, not like John Cena, who doesn't want anybody around.
Well, if you are around though, you got to follow the Saudi though. So.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I've been at work. It's been a busy day. There's a short coming in the morning. Don't worry. Don't get me started.
All right.
It's a short coming. Awesome. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to finish up and close up around here, get home. And so moving forward, obviously on your networks as well, you'll be able to find everything kicking out at 2 also on all the stations for Chair Shot Media Group. So again, it's an honor. Congratulations. Be the first one to say thank you so much. And you guys are awesome. I'm very, very excited to move forward with this. I'm pumped.
Thank you, John. Can't wait to get started.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here, get some sleep. You guys continue your show, and I'll talk to you later.
All right. Have a good night, sir.
Catch you next time.
All right. Let's switch back over to 2.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me see maybe if I can fix something. Can I fix anything?
I just may need to close this and reopen it. It's fine.
There we go. Hold on.
There we go.
I got you. For some reason, you went from fit to frame to full screen, so that's what happened.
Okay.
Anyway, hopefully you guys stick around. We got just a little bit of show left anyway, but that was obviously our big announcement. It's been a conversation happening for 6 months, 8 months now.
Something like that. We've been talking about it for a minute and just had to get
just everything
the stars aligned.
Yep, and so it is official. We are part of the family. You'll be seeing a little bit of a different look from us because we'll be switching over to a new program. And obviously, I wouldn't be me if I didn't freshen up the product. So on our Twitter, on our YouTube, on our Twitch, all those will be prettied up and look a lot different too. So can't wait to get started on that. And so I can just not sleep for a few days while I'm doing all that. But anyway, we were talking about Nikki and Liv. So, I mean, obviously, like, if it stays just Nikki and Liv, I'm good with that. If somehow Brie Bella gets thrown into this, I'm going to lose interest in it really, really quick.
You are not the only one. If it's just Liv and Nikki, and I understand that they have the tag titles, the problem is who the fuck are they going to drop them to? Because there are no tag teams anymore. I hate to say this because I don't want the women to not have a title, the tag titles, but you could drop these tag titles and no one's going to notice.
I saw a video the other day, and for the life of me, I should have wrote down who it was. We've got like 3 tag teams, I think, maybe. What we should do is make that a mixed tag belt.
Yes.
Because that would be
cool.
Or
trios.
Or trios. That could be fun
trios.
Too. But yeah, I agree. Like
title that you defend at certain times or something.
Yeah, like it's getting there. Like
here's the cover. Can he do it?
Hey, Morgan, thanks for the follow there. Appreciate it. Thought you were already following me. Rude.
Right.
But it was Twitch, so maybe it was one of those re-up things. It's fine.
Yeah.
We won't hate you. But yeah, no, just I mean, I guess you could bring in the Iconics. You got that partnership there, so maybe they could come in and be the first WWE title that is taken over there.
Honestly, at this point, if we're going to do this crossover, let's first of all start interchanging the knockouts and the women's divisions. Merge the tag titles.
It's not a bad idea either. And actually, you know, I would be fine because like originally the tag belt was like the floater belt, right? It was started in NXT, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna make it just all around, so it's NXT, WWE. Make it a floating title in general. Make that one that goes to TNA. Make it go to Evolve. Make it go to AAA. Have it go everywhere. That would be a fun little litmus test for women in general, and then also the tag teams. But that's just a thought. You also wanted to talk about our wonderful boy Jimmy, or not Jimmy, excuse me, Jay. there you go, me going back to like the 90s and not remembering who's who. But
you were just thinking about little Jimmy. That's what it was.
Maybe. So you want to talk about Jay?
In my head, he was not losing that title.
Oh, we differ on
I'm like,
that.
surely not. Surely not. It's been what? A cup of coffee?
Mm-hmm.
6 weeks? Maybe 2 months? 3? 2 months. Not even 2 full months.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
So,
yes.
Here's my thing. And me and Big Mike actually kind of share a brain on this one. I love Jimmy. And I love Jay. Jimmy has more charisma. Jay on that mic, since he's became the man, because I want to be clear about this. Since he's became the man, has been lacking. This experiment as him being the top dog has failed.
No. Let me be clear. This was the most lackluster shit we've had as a champion in forever. There is nothing about his title run that says main event.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Main Event Jey Uso, but there is nothing. There is not a thing about this title run that has been main event.
Yeah.
Do I want Gunther to have the title? Absolutely not, because that's boring as fuck. Honestly, I want them. Damn, Stampede. Fuck. Honestly, I know I'm gonna get pushback on this, probably from Stampede. Put him and Jimmy back together and send them after the New Day.
Nah, I'm all for that. I am.
You could give me that match 4 times a year, and I'd be fucking excited about it every time.
Yeah, my issue with the whole Jay thing is, and I've said it numerous times here and on other shows, when Jay was going for the title, his promos were passionate. They were heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
and they were great. He is an underdog. He is the guy who fights from underneath. Once you made him the man and then gave him that I'm better than everybody attitude, it doesn't play the same. The most I have enjoyed since he won the title was his most recent promo, where he got in Gunther's face and just essentially just said the catchphrase. He didn't really say anything else. And then slammed that mic down and walked away.
His promo after the Jimmy beatdown, same thing.
Yep.
The problem is, him and Gunther's in-ring styles are so different that it's not fun.
See,
I agree.
I'll
Big
flip,
Mike, I agree.
I'll flip that just a little bit and say, if it was Jay working Jay's style of match, it could be fun. But they have him trying to put on a sleeper 4 times in that match. That's not Jey Uso. Jey Uso is
into Roman.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. Because they have him out there doing spears and stuff like that. And it's like, no, just have him be like he was as a tag team specialist with Jimmy. He was a high flyer. He would do the dives through the ropes over the top rope. He'd jump off the top rope. He was doing things at a fast pace. And these matches with Gunther, he's fighting Gunther's style. They had that moment where Gunther is giving lariats and Jey Uso is like hulking up. No. One of those lariats should have took him off his feet. And then if you have him like crawl to get up, and Gunther's looking at him like, what the hell, stay down. And then does it again and does it again. And do that as the Hulk up if he keeps getting back up, I'm down. But him standing there taking those lariats to the chest, that's not Jey Uso. That's not his style.
Like I said, they turned him into Roman, and he's not. Mm-hmm. He's not Roman. He's not big enough for a sleeper. Now, had you had him do this as a guillotine choke, okay.
Which, hold on, to be fair, because I know someone might say this, that's Roman's move.
It is. But do I find that more believable for Jay than a sleeper? Yep. 1,000%.
You know what?
Because then you say, okay, so he learned that from Roman. I'm fine with that.
I would go to, if we're going to give him a submission for a finish, give him the Dragon Sleeper.
Yeah.
Because it's stealing a movement from Cody and a movement from Roman. He's learning from the people around him.
Yeah.
And also, it's harder to make a sleeper look good. Because let's be clear, there is so much space in that sleeper hold that Jay was doing that it could have been like a 10th grade dance. There was so much space. Goodness.
Space for Jesus.
Yeah, it doesn't work. My other fear is that we still have been hearing these rumors that we're getting this Goldberg match. And now Gunther has a title. Please do not think of this man winning a title. Don't do that.
The only thing I can think of that makes any sense to me about this is they get to Atlanta in July. Gunther comes out. Open challenge. The title's not on the line, but I don't care who's in the back. I know I can beat you, so come and get it. I would rather see Stampede. I'd rather see the Usos against the GOD. But I'm talking like the actual GOD, not this watered down Tama Tonga Loa shit. I'm talking actual Gorillas of Destiny. You give me that match is a banger.
Yeah. Well, and I think Loa might still be hurt. I don't know what's going on with Loa, which is probably why he's throwing Hikuleo in there.
I don't want to see Goldberg do anything in a ring. I don't want to see him in catering. You know what? I don't want him in the building.
Well, and we said it on a previous episode. Like, he's got his last match, and he wants to go out on his own terms with a good match.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. Put him against The Miz or someone like that, because then him doing his 5-minute match makes sense against someone of that caliber. Do that. That's fine. I don't disagree with that, Stampede. I don't think we'll actually see full on God. Which is sad because God was amazing. But yeah, it's a very weird thing. I want to get off that, but there was a past match moment. So Jay is standing there with his son in the middle of the ring. He's praising Gunther. He's standing tall with his son. And if you get a chance to watch it, have you watched that post match thing?
No.
It solidifies what we're saying here, because he was passionate. He was acceptable. He was relatable, because he was apologizing to his son for failing. He was passionate in what he was saying. That is what we need from him to make those types of runs entertaining. So, if you haven't had a chance to see that, definitely see that. So to you, wrong call, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't. Do I think he should have dropped the title? Yeah. Do I think it should have been to Gunther? No.
I gotcha.
I think that's the wrong call part about it.
Of who it went to?
Yeah.
That's fair enough. All right, we're going to go head over to my 3 count. My first one is Octagon Jr. versus Dominic Mysterio, and I specifically want to bring this up with because, one, it was a great match. It showed that Dom can be even better if he's comfortable with the style he's wrestling, because like he was raised in Lucha Libre. He was trained by his dad. And so his match with Octagon was something we hadn't seen out of Dom. So it was really great to see that. Them doing the tie-in, because it all spawned from the previous night in Worlds Collide. We had a nice moment between him and Octagon there. And also with Mr. Iguana, whose Iguana tried to attack Liv, and you don't do that to Liv. Don't do that. Dom will exterminate that kid. But to have them then add a 5th match to Money in the Bank, which is great, because the main complaint I've seen from everybody was that we only had 4 matches. And so we added a 5th match to it. That helped that. But it was really good. And it incorporates him into AAA a little bit. They already have a mixed tag match, a mixed tag title there. So that'd be kind of fun if we play with that a little bit. Absolutely. And I even I had pitched the idea of, why don't we have Dom once Ray's ready, because Ray's still healing, he's still trying to get better, and he's definitely close to that retirement match. Why don't we have Dom go on a spree of fighting the people that are the heir apparents to the people that Rey Mysterio fought in WCW? Because you had the original Octagon there, and now you have Octagon Jr., and you just beat him. We've got the new, oh, good Lord. It like every last name just fell out of my brain now. You've got a few others that are like, they are the successor to those.
Well, Vikingo is the son of the original Vikingo.
Yeah.
Dr. Wagner's son isn't there. It's El Hijo de Dr. Wagner or whatever.
Yep. Well, and
his name is.
Something I didn't know, Mr. Iguana is actually the son of Porky, who was not a well-known name in WCW. He was more brought in as WWE when they were trying to do that lucha thing as a joke, because he was a portly man and he was always eating like a turkey leg.
I remember.
But super porky, like he's there. La Parka. That was the one I was trying to say, and thank you, because
there's a new like the chairman La Parka.
Yeah. So
Are we sure it's not the same one?
It's not. So La Parka in that culture it's handed down. So it's like the Rey Mysterio gimmick. It's handed down to the next generation. So there's a new La Parka now, which is weird to me because I'm used to seeing La Parka with a gut, and now he's fit, and that's weird to me. But yeah, so like La Parka's there, and so he could run through these people that are the heir apparent to who his dad ran through, and then end it with a match with him and Ray. I've fought all of your past demons, and I'm ready to fight mine now.
Yeah.
And then that's the retirement match. That's where we end up. But yeah, it was a really nice thing. The only thing that was kind of nasty is there was a apron corkscrew bump that Octagon took. That was kind of nasty looking. But I mean, it was a really snappy and good looking match, and so I'm hoping to see more of that with Dom because Dom really fit into that style really well.
We could do an entire show on the growth of Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
I just every time
I still wish I knew where Tom and Nick were though.
Sorry, I'm gonna go.
I'm sorry. Come back. I'm sorry.
Every time I see him in the ring, he just gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy to say. So I don't care what they do with him at this point. I'm in. Let's go.
Yep. Well, like I've seen an AI picture float around of him as King of the Ring. As much as I think other people in that lineup probably would do better with that title,
I don't hate it.
I don't hate that idea. Having him be literally.
Can you imagine the arrogance he would walk around with?
Yeah. Well, because of it, and my Spanish is absolutely rusty, but if I remember right, I think Rey is some form of king, and so having him literally be the king would be kind of fun. But the second one I want to bring up because I wanted to say something about AEW. They had a 4-hour long event.
Yes, and it took me so long to watch it.
Which, first of all, I'm down for. I understand the desire of it, and I think Big Mike said it best when he said, "All right, so WWE's wanting to counter Tony with putting stuff on the weekends. Fine, I'll just put a pay-per-view on a Wednesday. So why not?"
He basically did too.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm down for it. Do what you do, man. That's a lot of wrestling on a Wednesday, though. People got to work the next day. His dedication to that character is amazing.
Absolutely. You're right. He's not as advanced as you think he is, but for as short a time as he's been there, like actually in the ring, doing it on a weekly basis, it's kind of like Maxine. We saw how she was when she started.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Perry was another one. You could see the work, and you can see the work with Dom.
Well, you can see the work, and you can also see like the natural talent. And I hate making this comparison, but him and Logan Paul. Logan Paul is really, really good. Has no right to be for as little as he's been in the business, but the talent's there, and you can't deny it.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to put in the International Gold Global Showcase, the Fatal 4-Way that happened there. It was an amazing match. You had Dorada, you had Kenny Omega, you had Brody, which anytime you put Brody in a match, and especially if you put him in a match with Claudio.
Yes.
Like those two are going to beat the shit out of each other. And I'm here for that 100% of the time, every day of the week.
Absolutely.
I do kind of wish Kenny was not in this match, though. I understand, like it was for his belt, but because I want to give Brody a win so bad. That man is so talented and so marketable. He needs something. Give him something. But But here's what I loved about that match so much is it was an amazing match. Everybody got to shine. And normally when you have a match that is just to lead up to Aftermath, it's not a great match. This was an amazing match that then led up to a post-match tease for Okada Omega.
Which opened the next show, which was brilliantly done.
Yeah. So that's awesome that we didn't just use this match as a throwaway to get us to the next spot. So good on AEW for that booking. I don't get to say that nearly enough.
No.
A lot more recently we have been, but
yes.
The idea of they built this great match and then still had a great tease at the end of it. It's amazing.
The lack of women's matches was the biggest beef.
Yeah, which from my understanding, this one coming up this week is going to have a lot more women representation. So
good.
At least he's pivoting on that. To kind of
I know we're about to get to the big topic.
Mm-hmm.
Mary just got home. I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let the crowd entertain me here. Yeah, Forbidden Door will be good for him. Get him some of those level of people. The more strong style, hard style people would definitely be a good match for Brody and get to show him off a little bit more. And I think him and Gabe Kidd's gonna have a good match too. Gabe Kidd's one of those he's very hard hitting, so it's gonna be good to see those two in the ring too. There's only 3 booked so far. Or I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually see what 3 women's matches. Okay, I was like, I haven't got a chance to sit down and like look at it. And if they only had 3 booked, that's WWE pay-per-view booking right there. There's 2 matches until Monday, and then we have all of a sudden a full card. But I can't wait to get to this last topic. I know this last topic is the big thing that everybody loves. It is another 4-hour show. Like I said, I'm down for it. Anytime you want to put on wrestling, I'll watch it. But on top of that, you have a network. Collision got screwed over because of hey, look, hey, we had a milestone. We received 100 messages from Restream. So between the 2 platforms, that's awesome.
3 platforms. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and X.
We don't get X. Well, actually, wait a minute. I think that's where Final Boss Lady was messaged from. It sure was. Oh, I guess they fixed that. For some reason, X wouldn't come through messages before. So hey, they fixed that. That's awesome. So yay, a little milestone for us. 2 milestones in one night. Look at that. So anyway, the third count that I have here, it's a big talking point. It's also the reason I don't have a Twitter topic for today, because this kind of is the Twitter topic. It's taken over the entire world, and that's R-Truth. So R-Truth gets told at the same time with Carlito and with
yeah, it did too.
With Carlito and some other people that they were not going to be renewed. Sarah Logan was another one of them. I was trying to think of the other name off the top of my head.
Which sucks.
But like, I've thought this since it happened. Those 2 made sense to me.
Yes.
Carlito was just a funny guy in Judgment Day that got losses. And as much as I love Carlito, that's all he was. And so it wasn't breaking anything, him leaving. Right. Sarah hasn't been around since they got rid of the
baby.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was trying to have a baby, but like since they've leaned away from like the full-on Viking character, she hasn't been around. So and that it doesn't fit them now.
No.
So I understand that of her being out of it. And from what I understand, like she was okay with it because she is wanting to go home. She's wanting to just go home and be, family Sarah Logan. So that's fine.
And good for her.
Yep, Ron Killings is the topic discussion all day.
Yeah, he has.
And so he gets told he's going to get let go. The fans lose their shit. I've had my own personal opinions about them losing their shit during matches, but I get it. Some people think that that's the right time to do it. Some people don't think it's the right time to do it. You have your own opinion on that, and that's great. But we start "We Want Truth" chants. We start hashtag "We Want Truth." There's shirts, there's signs, there's people yelling it out in the crowds. At the event itself where I was at, it was about every 10 minutes that chant would start again. And it was during everybody's matches. It got a little less loud during the main event, and that's just, it is what it is. That's why, like, in my personal opinion, and we'll get to what we've found out since it happened, I do kind of think it was a work, because I'm telling you right now, I watched the Tulsa broadcast. What you guys heard in the main event, it was not that loud in the building. I barely heard that in the main event, and it was loud as shit on my TV. So I kind of think they might have piped that up a little bit.
Okay, so I think they were not going to re-sign him. What I think happened was they told him, we're not going to do this. His contract wasn't up.
No.
But they said, we're not going to re-sign you. So he said something to the public. Hey, I'm leaving. I don't know that I have ever seen the wrestling community as a whole all come together in support of one person like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this has been the topic of discussion for a solid week. Grace works with a guy that is not a wrestling fan. They had this conversation. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that 100%. I think that's exactly how that went.
I think my thought might be, though, is that the initial thing happened, and I don't doubt that it happened. I think they knew a lot sooner that it was a mistake and they were bringing him back. So I think they were simmering on that longer than longer than that night they cut a deal. And so then he came out at the main event.
And they might have. But the fact is, this was the loudest, most solidified, genuine response to anyone. I remember the shock of some of the people getting let go, and we're going, wait, what? This was different.
Yeah.
This was different.
Well, it's different because it's like, Miz had to come out and talk about his status because people were questioning it because he dropped all the WWE stuff off of his Twitter and all that. And the reason being is because people would lose their shit for him too, because he's what we consider a lifer. He's the guy, like, he's going to be there forever and never leave. Yeah. And if all of a sudden they let him go, then that's going to be a big thing of like, this guy had like made his name here.
I agree. I don't know that it would get the same response as Killings, just because there is a segment of the fans that just hate the Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Not for any other reason than just to hate the Miz.
Yeah.
But this was... I've never seen anything like this in all of my years as a wrestling fan, especially since the advent of the internet.
Yeah, it was a huge thing. But so, like, we get R-Truth returning at Money in the Bank to attack John Cena, which is a great spot in itself. And the only thing that made you know kind of who it was is that the back of his shirt went up a little bit, and you went, "Oh, I know who that is."
Right.
But he was covered head to toe, so they did that smart. To the point of the scrum embarrassment. So someone asked Triple H, was this part of the show? And he goes, "Hey, did you watch the show? Did you enjoy the show?" And just kind of alluding to it being a work the entire time, which then R-Truth's son
said cap.
Called him out on it, saying they need to stop the cap. Sources said Killings was cut via lower tier talent relations, not the top brass, and was shocked and disgusted. In the locker room, morale actually dipped which absolutely. I mean, we saw the tweets immediately after that. One of the most popular ones being that they had that new R-Truth shirt, and they were told specifically, do not wear that. And Rhea was like, fuck you, and wore it.
Mommy dropped one of these, put the shirt on, and went out and did her promo.
Yeah, so, obviously the other people were very much behind them.
Yeah, Big Mike, you have a point, and Stampede, you're not wrong either.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Logan would not be where he is now if it wasn't for the Miz, and for sure both of those.
I hate to give you that. I hate to give you that because I hate that guy. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
I am going to drop a little bit of knowledge to you that did get dropped to me by a very reputable source. If you watch that docuseries on Netflix, start to kind of see that this whole thing's a gimmick with those two. Like, they're playing heel in real life.
I don't dispute that, but he has still said some things that make him a piece of shit.
Yeah, but on that show, he has said, like, in my younger years, I was a dick. I was an asshole. I did some very unreputable things. Like, he admits that stuff. And that's the only thing I've ever asked for. So now that that's out there and he's actually, like, admitting to, hey, I've done some horrible shit, I can kind of look at that and go, okay, when I was young, I did some horrible shit too. So, it was on Max? Okay. I thought it was on Netflix.
It's on Max.
So if that's out there and he's apologizing for it, and like we say it all the time with people, like they get canceled because of a tweet they sent 10 years ago, like I might start giving him some slack on it,
but my problem isn't 10 years ago. It's the last couple of years.
And that's valid. That's absolutely valid. Big Mike agrees with whoever told me that. I wonder who told me that.
Look, ma'am, you can't say shit about my life choices, bitch.
The problem is some of your life choices were my life choices too. So what does that say about me? But in this particular case, though, Nick Khan stepped in personally, something he rarely does to actually get a deal done, reflecting the level of backlash inside the company. Many wrestlers believe that Cena also asked to work specifically with Truth because he wanted to help save his job. The fans and the locker room support forced WWE's hand in this particular instance. Whether you believe it was a work or not, if it was a case where they wanted to keep him because of how much the fans are going to backlash on it, or they're keeping him because the fans backlashed, it's absolutely because of the support of all these people around him. The PR and morale in this particular case win once they brought him back.
I do not buy for a second that this was a work. I don't. I think they told him, we're not bringing you back. And he's like, oh, okay, bet. Tweets about it. And here we are now. But I don't believe this was a work. I don't think they said, hey, let's fuck with the people. Let's get all of these things said, done, so on, just to do this.
Mm-hmm.
No, not a fucking chance.
See, and Drew's one of those as well. But to me, Drew is it's a different reason. You look between those two, and you go, okay, Truth is a mainstay. Like he's a person that should never leave for any reason, just because like he's a mainstay. You could throw him in there for anything, and he's game for it. Drew, if you let Drew leave, Drew would have made an impact anywhere else.
Yeah.
And honestly, after hearing Jess talk about what happened at Fyter Fest, people were talking during matches about Truth leaving. And so people at an AEW event, talking about Truth. So if Truth would have walked over there, that could have been one of those needle movers that brings WWE fans over there.
Yes. Had either Drew or Truth left. So say Drew doesn't resign and shows up in AEW and attacks Moxley. Tell me that is not, and I understand he is Drew McIntyre. Anytime we talk about him, we don't say Drew McIntyre. We say Drew.
Yeah.
I don't care what his last name is.
Yeah. For
He
sure.
shows up 100%. If he shows up on AEW, I'm going to say it, and I probably would not have said this a few years ago. That's a needle mover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Stampede.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Same thing with Truth. If Art Killings walks out on an AEW stage, especially if you do it somewhere like All In or the show before All In, say it was Drew. Drew leaves when his contract is up in June. The collision, I wouldn't do it on Dynamite. The collision before All In, he walks out on the stage and interacts with Moxley in some way. That is the needle mover.
Mm-hmm. Well, I won't go into fantasy booking because to me, there's another booking we could do with that. But
I'm just saying, regardless of what he does.
In this particular case, though, like with Truth, to me, like them letting him go, in their brain, they're thinking best case scenario he signs with TNA because he's got, he's got history over there.
He's got ties.
But what if he didn't?
Yeah.
What if he signed somewhere else? Because I do think that would be one. Because like one wrestler said they weren't quoted with their name. They wanted to stay anonymous in the interview, but one wrestler said it's hard to feel good when you fire Santa Claus. And I think that is about as a point.
Olin?
No. Talking about R-Truth. I get the joke, but I mean that's how beloved he is, though. Like he's a guy like he puts a smile on your face wherever he is, wherever he goes. Hopefully this changes how they do these contracts, though, because like these cold cut styles, and I don't mean the sandwich meat, like it doesn't work the same way as it does in the UFC. UFC does that kind of thing where they just do these cold, like, all right, well, these people aren't working out, we're paying them too much, cut them. But no one's invested in those people. So I do think that hopefully this will, or I do hope rather, that this will change how they do that and what they think about that. And then to cap it all off, he shows up on Raw again, completely adorned in the black. So a nice little homage to what he just did the previous couple of nights ago. Stands up on an announce table, and then, like Stampede says here, we get Ron Killings reborn. And as a bald man myself, when he comes in next week with his head shaved, he's gonna look bad as a motherfucker. But I tweeted it out earlier today, and I want to make sure that I say it here too, so it's live for everyone to hear. We keep seeing these videos, and we keep seeing these pictures and these vignettes of his heel work in WWE. Who I saw on that table is not that Ron Killings. Because that R-Truth that was in WWE was still slightly a funny gimmick. He was out there smoking, he was out there drinking, he was doing the little Jimmy stuff. This is Ron the Truth Killings. This is the guy that got fired from WWF as K-Quick and basically got sent back to TNA to try to rebuild himself and became a massive star. Just because he literally walked in the door and was like, look at me. I am the suntan Superman. I've got an 8-pack. I look like a fucking star. I act like a star. I talk like a star. They dropped the ball because they could have put a title on me and we would have brought it to the stratosphere. So I don't think those people that think of this heel run that he had at WWE know what's coming. We're getting a whole new Ron Killings that WWE has not seen. So I'm excited to see that. He's been one of my favorites for a long time. I watched him win as the first Black TNA World Champion, NWA World Champion at the time. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful that we're getting that.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be. It definitely is going to be much better for him. And honestly, I know he's had titles. And I'm not counting the 743 times he had the 24/7 title. Actual titles. I know he's had tag titles. I think he's had a U.S. championship or an intercontinental title. This is absolutely the time to put a real title on him.
I'm glad that you and I are in the same brain space sometimes.
Look,
Give him a
Gunther just
run.
won that title. And if you don't, again, I'm not, yes, he won the TNA title. I'm talking WWE because let's be honest, the U.S. title until Cena held it and did the U.S. title challenges, nobody cared. It didn't matter. If you don't have him walk out there on Monday and punch Gunther in the mouth, what are you doing?
See, I don't think so. I think he takes it to Cena.
No.
And you take that title.
I disagree. I would love to see it. They have the John Cena storyline, barring injury, planned out how they want it.
It wouldn't take much of a detour, though. The only thing you're doing is one of two things. You're either putting R-Truth last, and he's the person that beats him on his way out, or you throw him here in the middle and you take the title off him, and he still continues to run whatever the programs were after that, just without the title. Give that man just a small run of the title that matters. And don't get me wrong, we just got finished talking about this whole Jey Uso thing. It's the B title. Give this man the A title.
Okay, so how do we feel about...
Yep.
Okay. How do we feel about It's a Cup of Coffee hold, though?
Fine.
Really?
I'm depending on who beats him. Like, it obviously, like, if he gets beat...
Say it goes back to Cena.
Okay.
Give Cena 18. To me, that puts a stamp on it.
So if we're okay, so that's another thing that would put a stamp on this whole, because now Ric Flair is the 23.5 time champion or whatever, all because he won it and lost it like 5 times in Poughkeepsie. But thank you, Stampede. Anytime I can get your vote of I'm right, I'm good. I feel great about that. I would say, if I was to fantasy book that, R-Truth's next match with Cena is what finally flips that thought in his brain of this heel run. Truth breaks Cena. And so then maybe he does win it back from him, and that's fine. But he wins it back as John Cena, R-Truth's favorite wrestler.
What if Truth takes his place?
Like he leaves instead of John Cena?
No.
Or as the big heel?
The heel.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I'm good with that too. Because he said before he's wanted to be an actual, like, real heel in WWE.
That would be Nuclear Heat too. Right before he gets the win, have Seth run in.
Oh. And here's the thing, again, like I wouldn't be mad at that, because if he just beat Cena and then Seth comes and cashes in and he's got his 2 boys with him to help beat down even more if they need it, okay.
Oh, no. I'm talking Cena is out. You know this is a wrap.
Oh, like he cashes it in.
He hits 2, Seth's music hit, and the ref stops.
So then we make it a 3-way. He does the heist of the century like he did.
He comes in. His boys beat down Truth. Cena and his boys beat down both of them. Seth cashes in, and he took away Truth's moment by that much.
But then to me, then you book him and Seth in a program,
100%.
and then he ends up beating Seth eventually.
Yes.
To get that moment back. But yeah,
Even
no,
if
that
he
would be
only
nuclear damn heat to take that moment away.
Nuclear. This would be like booing Dom Heat.
Okay. But anyway,
I've
we
talked blood money since the first one, and I'm sticking with it.
we can fantasy book that all night long and talk about Truth all night long, obviously, but we need to get to wrapping this up. We've been on here for a while. Emotional ups and downs, both in wrestling and in our lives, because now we have officially became a part of the family. Before we close out, though, I know that me talking about shows that people have already watched has been a little, boring as of late. So I took a look into the future. And so now, coming up after our show is Psych, Too Psych, Too Curious, the 9th season that will come in 2 years in the future. And the premiere episode of that, Sean and Gus try to restart their psychic detective agency in San Francisco, but struggle to gain traction until a suspicious tech billionaire asks for their help investigating a series of haunted messages he's receiving. Meanwhile, Juliet adjusts to her new role in the SFPD and isn't thrilled to find Sean sticking his nose back in police work. Next on Psych, Too Curious.
What the fuck is this?
I thought it'd be fun.
Wow.
Well, I mean, everything's getting rebooted lately. Got new Dexters. We've got Ted Lasso coming back out. Why not bring Psych back? I think that's a great premise. They're older. They're trying to do it again. My other thought was Psych, except this time it's Gus. But now Gus is saying he's the psychic, and I couldn't think of any good stories for that one. That one didn't pop you as much. I feel like all my work was...
Because I was really confused as to what was happening there.
All my work
is... did I miss something?
No. But that's it for tonight, folks. Just remember, as always, wrestling today is like the biggest buffet you've ever seen. You don't have to love everything on the table. Just let people enjoy what's on their own plate and load up what hits for you. As we learned today, we are not doing this on our own anymore, though. Kicking At It Too is proud to be part of the Chair Shot Media Group. Be sure to check out the full lineup, which includes the Run-In with Big Mike and Sped, who were in our chat today, the Lowdown with Princess Skywalker and John Anthony, who joined us today, Suds and Square Circle Media, and Chair Shot Sports themselves. And shout out to SportCoin, where watching and loving the game actually earns you something back. Follow us, follow the squad, and let's keep this rolling. You can catch us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, BlueSky. Sign up for our Discord, which is right over my bald, beautiful head. You can catch us up on our personal Twitters right below our names. Make sure to do that so you can share your thoughts, share your faves, and keep this conversation going. But in the meantime and in between time, thank you, John, for joining us. Thank you for all of you in the chat. We got 89 people watching us. I think that is the most we've had watching us at one time. So thank you so much for being here. You guys are what makes it fun. But we will catch you on the next one. Bye.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out.